This meeting is being recorded.
रजत स्क्रीन विजिबल है ना आपको? Okay. तो अपन we are going to start our first session on Ruby. So in which you will get to know about basic of Ruby. Basically, how can you start coding uh, using Ruby. Okay.
Yes.
So सबसे पहले आपका Ruby install है क्या on your machine?
No, not yet.
Not yet, ना? Okay. So सबसे पहले अपना Ruby install करते हैं, ठीक है? So I will give you a link. Mm. Here's the link I posted on chat itself, meeting chat. Okay. Mm. Let me know once you open the website.
Yes.
Okay. Now you have to install Ruby for Ubuntu. ठीक है? So you can see my screen. Go. You have to copy this command and paste it on your machine. Or paste it on the chat itself, the command. Or you can basically hit this command on terminal itself.
It's not available.
So you can hit this command on the terminal itself.
Yes.
This. Okay, meanwhile, I will just give you a brief. So today we are going to see, okay, once you have installed Ruby, so basically this is the command, you can check the version. Okay, so I have 3.1 and later on you are going to use RPM. And using RPM you can have install multiple versions. Okay, so we will not go into RPM today.
Yes.
So we will stick to Ruby. So you will have a particular version or the latest version installed. All you need to do is go to IRB. IRB is the basically a console where you can hit the uh, basically write a program. Okay, or let's say if you want to execute one particular line, basically you can do it. So this way. So here I have defined a equals to 1. So Ruby is a dynamically typed language. So it decide the data type in runtime itself. Okay. So I have just assigned a equals to 1. So if you just check the class, so basically everything is in class. We are talking in Ruby, so everything is in class, right? So here it is a key class is integer. Okay, so let's say if b I want to define as a string. Now if you check the class, then it's a string. And let's say if c I define as a float. Okay, c's class would be float only. Okay. So these are the basic data types that we are going to use throughout the session. Okay, so after, and there are a couple of other things that we are going to discuss uh, in this session itself. So there's a concept, let's say symbol. So there is another data type that is symbol. So this is how we define a symbol. So So if you check the class for symbol, it would be symbol itself. So if let's say symbol string, okay. ऊपर मेरी स्पेलिंग गलत थी तो भी मैं भी स्पेलिंग गलत लिख रहा हूँ. So this is two way. One is we have defined SYBOL through symbol, and second one is through string, right? So there is advantage of using symbol over string. Okay. So basically, let's say we are going to cover this in this lecture itself. So just giving a brief. Uh, if possible, we should use symbol over string, and I will tell you why we should use symbol over string in the upcoming session. Okay. So आपका Ruby install हुआ है?
Which?
Ruby install हुआ है? Can you just check the version?
It's 2.7.0.
Okay. Can you open the IRB?
I
IRB. That's a command.
yes, IRP not found.
IRB.
IRB.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Started, yes.
So you can hands-on, as in just the way I just tried, right?
Yes.
I tried to assign certain value to certain variables. So you can start it that way. So basically, these are the four data types that we are going to use throughout our Ruby. Okay.
Yes.
और जहाँ पे भी आपको कुछ समझना है डायरेक्टली पूछ लेना.
Yes.
ठीक है. Okay. तो एक बार जस्ट जो चारों मैंने आपको डेटा टाइप बताए थे एक बार उसको असाइन करके देख लो.
Yes. Yes, it's working.
तो आपको असाइनमेंट आया अभी, राइट?
Yes.
कि कैसे असाइनमेंट करना. दैट्स सो if we are talking in other language term, it is more similar to JavaScript. ठीक है.
Yes.
So now we will see the operators that we are going to use in Ruby. So it's simple: plus, minus, multiplication, division, modular, exponent. You are aware of it, right?
Yes.
Let's say if I give you an example of, let's say, exponent. ठीक है. Okay.
Yes.
So this is how you do it. In some other language it is done that way. Okay. So, but in Ruby it is not. So if we have to do the exponential thing, it has to be by double asterisk. Okay. And you know about modular, right?
Yes, models.
So what it does?
It prints the remainder.
Remainder, correct?
Yes.
Perfect. So it will print the remainder, correct? So you are aware of the basically the basic arithmetic operator
Yes.
that is commonly used throughout all languages. So after then there is comparison. If you want to compare whether two variables are equal or not, you do it that way. That basically compares the value if they are equal or not. Okay. Then there is greater than, less than equals to, greater than equals to, correct?
Yes.
So there is one special thing, this operator, combined comparison operator, return zero. ये return zero करेगा if both the parameters are equal. ठीक है. Let's say it will return zero. ठीक है. If both the operators sorry, both the operands are equal. If first one operand is greater than the second one, it will return minus first one. If let's say if this one is greater than, if the first operand is greater than the second one, okay, so it will return one if the left one is greater than the second operand, and it will return minus one if the right operand is greater than the left one. Okay, so uh, so this is the operator which is being used if you see that 5 comes in between 1 to 10, right? So it will return true. So in if we say this or this, right, that means it will include it creates an array of 1 to 10, and to iterate over an array we use this syntax. Okay, this is the element, like we and for printing anything we do it that way. Undefined each. So it has to be do that way. So if did you notice the difference between the double dots and the triple dots?
Yes, yes.
So when we use double dot, it included the last element, right? And when we use a triple dot, it included from first to the n minus one.
Yes.
Correct. So what we are checking here is basically this particular condition has been used where let's say we want to compare whether a particular element include in that particular category or not. Let's say if you want to find whether you got you got uh, an element as a argument to a function, right? And you wanted to check if it lies between 1 to 10, then it should be this. If it lies between 10 to 20, it should be that, right? Getting the point. So in that case, we can particularly use this. So if you have seen this 1 to 10, right? Return true, right? And what if, let's say if I do it that way, 15, return false. Or what if I do it 10, 10,
False.
false. What if I do this, 10,
True.
true. Okay. So apart from it, we extensively use these parameters, this particular parameter while we compare anything. Let's say if I want to uh, yeah, I set it as mirror. Okay, now I wanted to check if the assigned value to the above variable, that is name, is mirror or not. That's true. But what I do this, it's not right.
Okay.
And sorry,
Triple equals we only use within the range. Then that means only that if we have given the range, then only triple equals can be used.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. So basically use with the group of integers.
correct. Let's take a scenario. If we do this, what happens? It's true. What if we do this? It's false. What if we do this? It's true. And there's one other use case of triple equals to. Hmm. Let's say ABC equals to ABC. True. Yeah, matlab, as an triple equals to can be treated as double equals to when we are comparing two elements. Okay. For this, so here I told you why do we use EQL. EQL is basically to check if two uh, operands have the same value or not. Okay. And the last one is equal. So equal, what it check is the object ID. So if you see now, if I say let's A equals to 10, it will have an object ID. So uh, every class in Ruby have defined internally, matlab Ruby itself defined that object ID method internally, right? Which basically points the reference to where it is being located in memory. Okay. So when I say a dot object ID, so it has returned me 21. So the 21 is somewhere referring to a memory location. Okay, so 21 is basically might be pointing to a memory location and where that actual data has been stored, that is 10, right? Now just guess this thing. Now I have assigned b equals to 10. So what is going to be object ID for this? Okay, it's not. Now, okay. So now the thing is, when we are define, let's say ki, for each number, if we are going to define or we are going to allocate or different memory location, right? Like let's say if I define 10 times with different variables, right? So every time it is going to create, according to you, what you have just answered, it should be different, right? According to you, it will create a new reference, right? So you see, na, memory is consumed unnecessarily. So when you see key, there is 10, right? And we are assigning 10 to 10 different variables. So why not to assign, why not to point every element to a same memory location, right? It makes sense. It saves our memory, right? Now, if you uh, if you uh, do this thing, ABC dot object ID, it has given me this. Okay. Now let's assign ABC into a variable and this. Okay. Sorry, I should be doing this. So did you notice one thing? When I did for string, right? Yes. Every time it gives a different object ID. Yes. You compare this for this for this. So remember one thing, whenever you initialize or assign value to a string, right? Then it is going to create a memory look. It is going to occupy a memory location in your server. Okay. So ultimately, let's say अगर मैं ABC ही use कर रहा हूँ और ultimately मैं 10 बार use कर लिया, every time it is going to create a new memory space. Correct. So it is going to be more memory consuming. Correct. So इसका alternative, and in very when I started the session, I said key symbols. What are the four data types I told you? Integer, string, float, and symbol. Symbols, right? Symbols are better than string because वो अभी मैं symbols का example देता हूँ. Why string takes different addresses while integer takes the same address? Okay, so hmm, इसका एक पोटेंशियल रीजन ये लग रहा है मुझे, मतलब आई एम नॉट वेरी श्योर, सिंस यू आस्क दिस क्वेश्चन, you when we done with the session, just research about it. But as per my knowledge, what I think कि numbers क्या होते हैं, they are uh, कितने ही नंबर होंगे, मतलब although they are infinite numbers, correct, but उन सब का एक हम एक मेमोरी में स्टोर करके रख सकते हैं, ठीक है. When it's comes to the permutation and combination, considering a string, and a string can have anything, it has 26 uppercase alphabet, 26 lowercase alphabet, there are 0 to 9 and it go up to n numbers, right? There is no wo, there is no uh, if even if we are trying to cover each and every string na, first thing I don't think it is feasible, and अगर कोई machine करने जाएगी it automatically get very slow. So this is the one reason why I think it happens that way. But symbols के साथ it is different, and what I gave explanation just now, it might be wrong, ठीक है. So when we meet next time, then you give me your explanation, okay. So here you have seen the object ID here again I did it, but for symbols it's different. And now your question would be कि symbols के साथ ऐसा क्या होता है कि they are taking a particular memory space. So I guess when we assign any variable to a symbol, I think that time it create a memory location, okay. And next time when the same symbols it been used, it might be somewhere we have a mapping for this ABC, there is already existing memory, then uh, that's why when we use next time the same symbol, the same memory location has been assigned. So it's same, correct? So this particular equal with a question mark checks the object ID, it is same. But when we are comparing string, it is not. It is not, right? Then there is
Equals compare memory address by
object ID. It's not the memory address. Memory address is stored in hexadecimal. That would be a very long.
and whereas EQU the checks equality for
Yeah, EQL question mark checks the value.
okay.
Then there is add equals to, minus equals to, right?
Yes.
Multiply equals to, you might be aware of it,
Yes.
right? We can do it that way in a single statement. Now equals to 2. So the same, it goes that way,
Yes.
okay? Then there are bitwise operator. You know how to convert into binary, right?
Yes.
Correct. So if you have seen in this particular example, A is 60, B is 13. Now there is an binary n. So binary n says uh, both has to be 0 or 1. If both has to be 0 for 0, both has to be 1 for 1. If any of them is 0, then again it will be 0. Or you know about or, then there is XOR, and there is negation, right? It's not extensively used, but you must be aware of it. Then there is left shift operator.
Yes.
You know what it does? Left shift, right shift.
Yes, sir. It should be on Regex.
So what will it do if I do it that way?
So it shifts bits to the left uh, 2 times.
2 times. So what would be its value?
Uh, that have to calculate, sir. Means from binary I have to.
So if the value is 4, then 0, 0, 1, right?
Yes.
So if we shift it to left, what would be the next value?
0, 0, 1. Left side shifted 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. We shifted 1, 2 times.
So okay, we said 4, and if I write 4 in binary, it would be something like this, right?
Yes.
And now we are saying we have shifted 2 digit. The upcoming value would be something like this. Hmm,
0, 0.
this way,
Yes.
correct? So 4, 8, 16, right?
Yes.
2 to the power of 4, I guess. Hmm. Then there is logical and, as in if we are using two variables, right? Let's say A and B. There's one, or let's say 4. Let's say 4. So the basic meaning is, if this is basically an end condition, usually what we do is true or false, right?
Yes.
And even if you pass a number, that is completely okay. So if you pass a number, then it's give a number, which is basically a true condition for us. Okay? And in Ruby, we have nil, right? Nil is basically if we nil and end it with any condition, it's a nil. So basically, if we use this sum anywhere, so it's a false condition, right? Let's say if you want to print your name, if the condition is true, but condition is not true, correct? What if I have 8 instead? It's printed what I wanted to print it, that is name, correct?
Yes.
And specifically, it's been used to check whether the conditions are true or not. It's true, false, nil. Then again, there is or, negation, not, correct. Then there is ternary operator. You know the use case of ternary, right?
Yes.
Let's say true, and give 4, else give 8. What would be the value assigned to A?
Is 4.
Correct. If it is false, then 8.
Yes.
Correct. So this is the two dots that I already given you an example of. It will include both the n values. Triple dot will exclude the n. Correct.
Yes.
So this is the basic. So basic how we compare, because while coding you would be needing comparison, right?
Yes.
Now second pointer is precedence. तो जब भी तूने मैथ्स की होगी, ऐसा तो नहीं है प्लस पहले कर लेते हो मल्टीप्लाई बाद में करते हो, राइट? देयर इज अ पर्टिकुलर ऑर्डर यू फॉलो, राइट? The same way in Ruby we have precedence. So you can just go through it once, like exponential has given the highest, element reference has given the highest, then exponential, then boolean bitwise, right? multiplication, division, then addition, subtraction, then left shift, right shift, and just remember this, huh?
Yes, sir.
uh, logical and then this conditional. So have a look, have a glance, and it is not very extensively used, but wherever you are putting multiple condition, you should have a fair idea which is going to execute first. Correct.
Yes.
So yeah, this is the first uh, session or the first topic I wanted to cover about the operator and precedence.
Yes.
Do you have any question over this end?
No, sir.
Perfect.